All right, what's up? Flavio here. For this video, we're going to go over how to dominate categories. So I posted a poll in the group, and if you're not in the self-publishing group yet, there's a link in the description. But I posted a poll just yesterday about what people would like to see in terms of keywords and other publishing tools or strategies. And by and large, it looks like keywords was up there, but also categories was above that. So I'm going to go over how I find categories that I want to put my low content books into. So first, I want to go over an example. So this one, it's a popular book. I see it a lot when doing research. I'm sure you have also if you're in Book Bolt or anywhere else doing research. So this book, has a nice cover. It's, kind of a fitness activity tracker, a lot of reviews. So it's done very well. And when you go down and look at the categories, you'll notice a couple of things. You will notice that it ranks in more than one category, which is nice. But you will notice that it ranks number one in quick workouts. So quick workouts, I'm going to click that so that we can see it. But quick workouts is a category that I don't see in KDP when we go to upload a book. And there's a good reason for that. There's about 12,000 total categories available on KDP. By default, they are showing about 300 or a little over 300 categories. They're showing the most relevant and popular ones that they believe that people will need. Now, above and beyond that, there are others. I am going to put a link below that can tell you how you can get into more categories, but that's a different topic for a different day. But for right now, I just want to focus on how you can get into some of these categories, or I shouldn't say get into it, but how you should explore these so you know how to, that you should be getting into them. So for instance, if I come here to my KDP account and with categories, it's a lot easier to search it. I have the search bar because of KDP Wizard, so big shout out to them. A nice tool that's in beta right now. But if I do this and I search through the ones that are available here on, so there we go. So I type in quick. This is what's available initially when uploading a book. And the only one that's coming up is cooking methods and quick and easy. But there is nothing about this quick workouts, which is under exercise and fitness, which is under health, fitness, and dieting. So we're going to get to that in a little bit. So if I'm uploading a low content book of food and exercise that I maybe want to be similar to this one or compete with this or same sort of idea, then maybe I might want to get into some similar categories, or I might find a different one of my own as well that maybe they're not even thinking about too. So that's important. So I want to go over that and what I use to do that. I'm also going to show you the inside of it. This is Publisher Rocket. Some people have heard about this, but honestly, I don't hear enough people talking about it. It's a great tool. But again, I know how it is. There's so many tools out there these days. I get it. But with this one, you can do your keyword research there, which we're not going to get into right now. Competition analyzer, which I love. AMS keyword search, which is great. And then, of course, the category search, which is what we're going to do right now. So this is for a book. They got the ebook version as well, and it's nonfiction. And we're going to go get them. So now, just to show that example that I already did, health, fitness, and dieting, I click check it out, and it brings up all these categories, and I get to search it. So now I'm going to search the one that I wanted. Quick workouts. There it is. So now, health, fitness, and dieting, exercise and fitness, and quick workouts. So we already knew that string from seeing it on Amazon. And now it tells me some information here. So this is the average BSR of number one in this category, 786. How many sales in a day to get to number one in this category would be 81, and then average BSR of 25. So this tells you everything right here you need to know. So if you wanted to be top 25 in this category, it's telling you that 3 sales in a day would get you there. That's all it would take. All right. So and if you wanted to see the categories or category page, you would click check it out, and it would bring you to what we already had before, like this. So it brings you to that specific category, which I, really like that. So let's get rid of that. Okay. So now that I did that, I would know that I can potentially get into this category if my book fits it. All right. But now the other thing is when you're doing these, let's say you have a book. Let's say we're keeping on with the weight loss thing or fitness thing. Let's just say you have a book and you're trying to decide which category you want to put it in. So maybe you put it into one category already, and then for the other category, you're kind of flipping, you're not really sure what you want to do. Let's look at this. But if I look at this category, diets and weight loss, the sales needed in a day to get to 25 is 148, and to number one, 689. That's a lot. So that means that's a pretty competitive category to be in. Okay, and diets and weight loss, we already know that. That should not be a surprise. However, what if my book is specifically about low carb? All right, so now will that change things? Now I need 42 to get to top 25 in a day rather than 148, or 601 sales that day to get to number one versus 689. So not too much of a difference there, but nonetheless there is a difference. So this can help you look for categories that maybe might be easier. Now the nice thing is I can also sort this. So if I click this up here, all of a sudden I have now sorted it and seen some categories that are easier to qualify for. They're not as popular. People are not getting into them again because they're not the initial ones that are listed. So when I take a look at this, if my book, again, if my book is anything that can, fit into these, then maybe I want to put it in here because it's not super competitive. Let's see. So for instance, if, some of these would probably be more, obviously a written book and all that, but nonetheless, if you had any low content book that can fit into this, you're fine. I mean, a yoga one, that's a good one right there. So if you're creating some sort of yoga type book, or, more importantly, maybe it's just niched to, yoga, fans of yoga, this might be a great category to put it in. And I'm willing to bet that doesn't come up in the initial few hundred popular categories. So now one sale can get you to top 25 in that category, and 10 sales in a day can get you to number one. So now why is it important to have this number one ranking, 25 ranking, and all that? Because again, it's just the Amazon algorithm. No one knows for sure how Amazon works, but one thing that we do know for sure is that they are a search engine, no different than Google and YouTube and other popular search engines out there. So what that means is that when someone searches for a yoga fitness book, let's say, they're going to take many things into account, the keywords, the title found, and everything like that, but they're also going to look at sales and rankings. So if they look at your book that in this category is ranked number 1, 2, or something like that, very high, they might show that one before showing a different one. Because they're going to view it as this one is more relevant. It's all about the relevancy score. So that's very key to keep in mind, is that categories do matter, which brings me to my next point. I know many people just upload journals and line journals or other low content books or no content books, and they just put it in non-classifiable. And I know some people have said, just don't worry about the categories, just put them all up there in kind of general category. I couldn't disagree more with that. I think that if at least you utilize those two categories, the initial ones that give you the best that you can, and put them in the best category that you can, I think it gives you a better opportunity to be found. Number one, because of the search algorithm and relevancy scores, but number two, also because of there are some people that are browsers, people that typically don't know what they want, and they just browse the categories. I do. And, again, many people do, which is why, let me just bring this up here, which is why when you visit a category in Amazon, Amazon best sellers. So there's a reason why they're using that verbiage. They want to make sure that people know, consumers that are looking at this, that these are our best sellers. And Amazon is really built that way. When something starts to sell a lot, they get the Amazon bestseller ranking. And you get this ranking per category. But if you notice, this is very consumer friendly. If I'm looking for quick workouts and I come here and I browse this, number one, I know which one is the best, selling the most, that people desire the most. And then I can see the cover and all the basic information that I need to see. So it's, so don't downplay that. It's very important. I do that a lot for nonfiction and fiction. If I have no idea what I'm looking for, I absolutely cruise these categories here and just click it and then find something that I might want that way. So it's very, very important. For instance, look at this one. This is a number 3. This is a low content book. Gratitude Journal for Women is number 3 in this category. Now, although I don't know why, since this is quick workouts, but maybe this is fitness centered. I'm not sure. But anyway, that's the very important thing to categories is you don't know if your potential buyer is looking, just browsing through categories, and they probably are. So I'm going to post a video below as well on how you can be added to more categories. So if you go in here, and let's just come down a little bit to some realistic ones that maybe you can put it in. But if you come down here, health, fitness and dieting, mental health, and dreams. So if you have some sort of dream journal or something, here you go. This one, 7 sales, gets you the top 25. And in a day, 25 in a day, if you can get it to take off or maybe do some ads and things like that, you can get it to number 1 in that category. So again, if this doesn't show up in your initial upload to KDP, the video below is going to show you exactly how you can add up to 10 categories to your books. Now, I'm not recommending you do all 10 categories. KDP does not like that, but it is there that you can add up to 10. Typically, it is a best practice to maybe add an extra 2 to 3 categories if you see that it fits into those categories. So hopefully this was of help to you. But yeah, Publisher Rocket is a very good program. It used to be called Kindle Rocket. They changed it to Publisher mainly because it can be used for any book anywhere, and then also used for paperbacks. But again, it's a very, very intuitive and easy thing to use. If I click the self-help, which a lot of journals are probably in, I can just click that, and then I can start to see some of these. So books, self-help, and success. This tells me it's a very competitive area. So I know a lot of line journals end up in this sort of category, but that can be high. So if I click this, I can see really quick some easier ones to rank for and whatnot. So here you go. So a self-help one is actually very good for journals. So there's a tip for you. So nonfiction self-help is a very good one to have a lot of low content books in, and you can see why, because a lot of them have to do with a lot of basic things. Here's another one, journal writing. 22 sales in a day needed to get the top 25, 283 to number 1. And that's another one, journal writing. I don't know if that's in the initial, I don't believe that's in the initial category options. I'm going to check that. Okay, it is. So it's in juvenile nonfiction, although that's in a different place. So yeah, so journal writing is available in regular nonfiction self-help, but not here, as you can see. So if I wanted to be added to that, then the next video I'm going to share is going to be telling you exactly how you can do that, and it's below also in the description. So anyway, hopefully that helps with your journey here. But again, it's been very important for me to help me. And again, I look at it this way. If many people out there are saying they don't pay attention to the categories and just put it in general and they get sales anyway, you know what? I don't buy into that theory, because whatever amount of sales you're getting, let's say you're selling 200 books a month, well, then you can easily be selling 250. let's just say, just to make up an arbitrary number. So if you're categorized a little bit better, could it help you get more sales? Absolutely. It certainly is not going to hurt you. It's only going to help you to get even more. It just means that your keywords and search phrases are pretty good in your books and they're being found, but how many times are they not being found because they're not in proper categories for people out there that like to browse through categories when they're not sure what they want to get? So that is it. Again, in the description, there is a video telling you how you can get added to some of these extra categories. But with Publisher Rocket, that is the best way to find all these lost categories out there that exist, but you don't see it here in your initial upload. So any questions, comment below, let me know. Don't forget to hit subscribe here on YouTube, as I plan on putting more and more content out here on the channel. And also join the Facebook group if you haven't already. That comment will also be, or that link will also be below. Thank you very much.